So here's a great example about what I call the cycle of socialism. So he starts this on page 60. He says, credit expansion results in the recurrence of economic crisis and periods of depression. Inflation makes the prices of all commodities and services soar. The attempts to enforce wage rates higher than those the unhampered market would have determined produce mass unemployment prolonged year after year. Price ceilings result in a drop in the supply of commodities affected. The economists have proved these theorems in an irrefutable way. No progressive pseudo-economist has ever tried to refute them. The essential charge brought by the progressives against capitalism is that the recurrence of crises and depressions and mass employment are its inherent features. The demonstration that these phenomena are, on the contrary, the result of the interventionist attempts to regulate capitalism and to improve the conditions of the common man give the progressive ideology the finishing stroke. So I thought that was great. That shows that the interventionist regulations into the market create the booms and busts, and then you get these tyrants that show up like Bernie Sanders, for example, that say, oh, we're going to raise the minimum wage more and higher, and even debates and argues with Hillary Clinton over how high the minimum wage should be. And of course, this just creates unemployment. Like if it's just economics 101. It's just silliness. If you raise the price of anything, you're going to get less of it. So if you raise the price of labor, you're going to get less of it. You're going to incentivize people to invest in automation, or they're just going to they're going to cut staff and make the staff that they keep do more work, or they're just going to not hire new staff. Like sure, if they raise up the minimum wage, that doesn't mean there's going to be a big mass firing, but there will be a loss of new jobs created because of the higher wage. So all of this, it's extremely irritating because all of this could be easily dealt with if people had a basic economics education. But of course, that's pretty rare. And you get this game that governments play with the economy, where they suck money out of the economy through printing money, which causes inflation, which makes prices soar. And then the government comes in and says, oh, what's happening? The economy is doing really bad and all the prices are soaring. Well, we have to do something. It's not our fault. Of course not. But we'll have to do something about this. So let's raise the minimum wage because we need a, quote, living wage because the economy is so bad and people can't make enough money to live. But of course, that's not our fault. That's nothing that we've done. And so we're going to raise the minimum wage, which of course is going to, in the future, just make things worse. Or we're going to put price ceilings on products that are getting too expensive, which again, of course, will just means that commodity will be less in supply and there'll be shortages. So it's a game, and it just screws with everything. And yet people seem to think that the government is the savior in all this when they're actually the cause. But of course, who benefits from all this? The politicians benefit because they can lie to the public and keep getting elected, and all the economists benefit because they tend to be working for the government. They tend to just essentially be Keynesians, just like Paul Krugman, and they can just say whatever they need that the government needs them to say, and carry on lying to the public and not supporting economics education in schools, for example, in high schools. And they can just keep the lie up to screw the public.